Hello, Sensei Cisco here with Sensei Martial Arts, and today we will be continuing our last lesson on step, set, and strike. This is what we call a rehearsal lesson. It's just to recover things we've already talked about before and potentially bring something new to light depending on how the flow of the class goes. But ultimately it is practice makes perfect. So if you're joining us in the future, jump ahead to about the 3-minute mark, as that'll be the start of the lesson while we propagate the lobby here and share through our social media. So that being said, I'm gonna click, boopity boop, and loading, keep on loading, old computer. Alrighty, click this over to our page, boop, 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 and type. Alrighty, and we are all set. So we do have still a minute yet before the official class starts. So I'm going to take this moment to just thank you all for your continued support of the channel and of our classes. At this time, at least the recording of this, it is April 30th, which means we'll be going into May tomorrow. Typically in our studio, we set up tuition as preemptive, so you pay ahead for the month that's coming. And obviously right now with everything going on, I haven't been enforcing any tuition charges for our members. So because you're not coming to a studio anymore, which is what most of you signed up for, if not all of you, to have in-person back and forths with myself to train alongside your other karateka. And given the current circumstances, that's just not possible. So the fact that you are all here watching this, continuing to practice at home, just warms me to my core. It means more to me than you could possibly know that you are willing to take the time and commit yourself to this and struggle through. In addition, some of our members have continued to pay tuition, and to those, I thank you very, very much. While I am doing everything in my power to continue our classes through these streams, through our Skype calls, it's not the same as having an in-person dialogue and having somebody to kind of push and resist against for training. But y'all have kept on with it, and your tuitions have definitely helped me out personally, as this is my sole form of income, and it's keeping our lights on, keeping the internet connected, to allow these things to continue during this interim. Hopefully, given some more time, the pandemic will pass and we'll be able to resume in-person classes as soon as gymnasiums and recreational centers are able to open again. But that'll take a little time, so we got to continue to be patient and persevere. If karate can teach us nothing else, it is how to persevere, because it is a long road to black belt and an even longer road beyond that to discover the deeper hidden lessons of the art. I've been doing this for 30 years and I still learn stuff all the time. So let this time be a test for you. See if you can push through this, if you can continue to train through this and move on normally without any eruptions in your practice. You are well on your way to living a black belt karateka lifestyle. All right, but that's enough for me. Let's get into the training and moving around. So, sounds good. Great. Against Mus. And jumping jacks. Pitch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Rogo. Suchi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Ju-ich. Ju-ni. Ju-sun. Ju-shi. Ju-go. Ju-rogo. Ju-suchi. Ju-hachi. Ju-ku. Niji. Ju-ich. Ju-ni. Ju-sun. Ju-chi. Ju-go. Ju-rogo. Ju-suchi. Ju-hachi. Ju-ku. Sanji. Sanji-ich. Sanji-shi. Sanji-shi. Sanji-go. Sanji-rogo. Sanji-suchi. Sanji-hachi. Sanji-ku. Yonju. Yonju-ich. Yonju-ni. Yonju-yo. Yonju-shi. Yonju-go. Yonju-rogo. Yonju-suchi. Yonju-hachi. Yonju-ku. Goju. And deep breath. One down for push-ups. Ich. Ni. Sun. Shi. Go. Rogo. Suchi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Take a seat. Sit-ups. Ich. Ni. Sun. Shi. Go. Rogo. Suchi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. One up. So pencil squats, feet side by side. Ich. Ni. Sun. Shi. Go. Rogo. Suchi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Shake it out. And turning your neck, pointing your chin from side to side. Try and take your chin towards your shoulders. Ich. Ni. Sun. Shi. Go. Rogo. Suchi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Up and down, keeping your neck straight. Ich. Ni. Sun. Shi. Go. Rogo. Suchi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Place one hand on your neck, kind of at the base of your neck, and then drop your ear to your shoulder. Ich. Ni. Sun. Shi. Go. Rogo. Suchi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Other side, placing your hand at the base of your neck. Ich. Ni. Sun. Shi. Go. Rogo. Suchi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Good. Roll around. Reverse. And big hugs. Chop. Roll up. Reverse. Freeze and twist. Good. Down to our hips. Roll around. reverse. Good. And plant your feet, touch the floor and back. Hitch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Roka. Siji. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Feet elbows width. Crisscross. Lean back as you rise. Hitch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Roka. Siji. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Good. Fan the knees. Rock side to side. Looking to sit as low as you can. Really drop the hips. But lift your toes up so you can dip down deeper into your heel. Good. Good. Down to your stomach. Feet together. And look to the sky, cobra. And down. Left knee out to the side. Stretch your right side. And down. Switch out. Stretch your left side. Looks like we just got a comment in. I'll give you one moment and I'll jump up and check that. All right, and cat stretch. Kind of planting your feet on the ground. Draw your hips back to your feet and scrape with your fingernails. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. And Zen. Deep breath. Slowly in. Slowly out. And relax. All right. One up. And bounce it out. It looks like we have. Hello, everyone. Hope you all had a good one. Yes. We are having a good week here. Hope you are all having a good week out there. So, now to review, last class on Tuesday, we took a look at our stances, Chizen Taidachi, Shikarachi, and Zenkutsudachi, and how these can be combined with last week's lesson of setup before delivery, drawing the T for a high block, drawing the pinkies together for a punch, X to outside block, L to inside block, fold to low block. Each of these setups moving into a delivery. Our footwork, our stepping, allowing us to plant our body and lock into the floor before that strike comes out. So we can lock position, aim up, and then deliver with strength. Lock it in, aim up, and deliver with strength. So this three-step idea, step, set, strike, is going to be crucial to your advancement moving forward. Every motion we have, from basic shikarachi punches all the way up to the most advanced sort of high knife step and snap, into the more advanced corkscrews, and beyond this, say from paisai, one of our ikatas, to draw out and strike with a fold. All these motions require that our body be locked into place before we take actions with our arms or even with a kick. A kick, we're looking to plant one foot before the next one's able to draw up to his chamber. We can't really kick off the back foot if this one's not set. Even with a jumping kick, I'm jumping to that opposite foot for the chamber and then delivering. Now, as with all things, there are exceptions to this rule. Rules are not universal. There's always going to be times where we change it up just a little bit, but it is for a specific purpose. This is one of the reasons why we have these sort of rules in place. When we have an exception to the rule, we can now analyze why there is an exception. For the case of, say, a jump kick, as I just mentioned here. If I'm going to do a jump kick, I could, hop up and land before the kick. And this would be what I kind of call a skipping kick. Because what I'm doing is drawing up one knee before lunging forward into the next kick. Sort of a step beyond a walking kick or a stepping kick, where I would step and then deliver and return. Now I'm just adding a little hop in. But notice my foot lands before the hit. In a traditional jump kick, we are looking to be all in the air. So as we draw up, the kick is going to extend before we hit the ground, but we hit the ground very soon thereafter. Side kick, jumping side kick is a good example of this, because that lunges out before we hit the floor. The reason why these jumping kicks, don't have to be grounded is because we're looking to get our feet off the ground. We're looking to avoid an obstacle. If, for instance, we had a blockade set in front of us, and while we could walk over it and then kick an opponent over here, that takes a little bit of time, doesn't it? Because I gotta sit here, I gotta step over, all right, chamber and kick. That took a little bit of time. But if I use that chamber to draw up and I kick while I'm in the air, now I've delivered my strike as I'm falling. I've cleared my target, I've cleared my obstacle, and I struck my target. This is a very unique scenario. And typically, not one that you're going to run into. If there's an obstacle between you and your opponent, run. Get out of there. Get to safety. Remember, your safety comes first. Never mind, looking super cool like Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee and getting that big dragging kick up in the air. It might look awesome in the movies, but in practicality, you're just as likely to be flipped and knocked onto the floor. So, it's a very unique scenario in which we're leaving the floor to deliver that kick. But be mindful of that. Otherwise, ground the floor, hug it, and then deliver whatever strike it is you're looking for. So, with all that being said and clarified, let's take a look at our stances. Reviewing first our Chizen Tadachi or walking stance. For this, we're going to put one foot forward. In this case, if I'm a mirror, you're on your right foot forward. And we're going to slide the back foot in and back out. So we're kind of returning to the train tracks. In and out. Like we're making a little crescent moon with our toes. Same thing coming back, draw in and back, in and back. A very slight bend to the knees, so we're relaxed, not stiff. Relax your knees and draw up with a crescent moon, up with a crescent moon. Crescent, 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 draw back. Crescent, 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 crescent. All the way. Key here is that we're sliding our feet. This way, at any point during this slide, I can shift out. By drawing the foot in, I can shift my weight very quickly and switch my feet off. So let's try that out. Let's draw in and just start walking up and back. Keep a steady pace. Don't worry about setting up with me, whether it be coming forward or back, but feel the floor. Now, at some point, I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to give a little count. When I do, I want you to shoot off to one of your sides. Ready? Up. And return. Up. And return. Up. Keep going. Up. Keep going. Keep your feet on the floor so you can shift your weight from side to side. Up. Good. Now you should feel pretty smooth there. If not, play with it, practice it. Do some little footwork drills using an agility ladder, for instance. An agility ladder is something we will be talking about next week, including how to design your own. So, I recommend picking up some tape, Scotch tape, electrical tape, something that you can put down on your floors. But that's for next week. Now, continuing with this lesson, let's take a look now at Shikarachi. Shikarachi, wide open leg stance. Feet are shoulder, elbows width apart. Knees are bent, pushing over our toes, and they're flared outwards. One toe pointed to this corner, the other toe pointed to that corner. Our Zenkutsu is going to push one heel out with a straight knee, and I face in the direction of the opposite foot. So now I'm pointing to this corner. I draw the heel in to face center. Push the heel out to face the corner. Heel in to center, heel out to corner. Center, corner, center, corner. Now let's keep this rotation going. Now, as we do this, I want you to feel where your weight is. Weight in the middle, weight on the right side. Weight in the middle, weight on the left side. Middle, bent side, middle, bent side. So as we extend that knee out, we're pushing our hips towards this foot. Then we draw back. Push in, draw back. Push in, draw back. For our shift. And relax, shake it out. Next for the hands. Quick review for each strike. Now we're going to take these strikes from our Shikarachi Zenkutsu that we just did, and we'll deliver them towards these outside corners. So our shields are going to be here in Shikarachi. Our strikes will be in Zenkutsu Dachi. So if we start off with the Chudanzuke, chest punch, what I'm going to do is line this up to the center. No Zenkutsus for this, we're just going to maintain Shikarachi. Put your left hand up and itch, meet in the middle, and switch. Ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju, and shake it out. Now with Zenkutsus. For this, I'm going to start in Zenkutsu with my back hand punching. This is a reverse punch. So my right foot is out, right foot is out, left hand is up. When we draw, we're going to pull our Shikarachi. Aim towards this other direction. So now my knuckles aren't pointed to the front. They're going to meet and point where I'm going to go next before drawing through and extending the punch. Shikarachi to point, Zenkutsu to push. Itch, ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Let's do 10 more. Itch, ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. And relax, shake it out. Right, Jodan, uke. Here we're doing high block, which means we're going to draw the T, and lift through. Drop to T, slide it through. For our Shikarachi to Zenkutsu, if I'm shooting this side, my back hand's going to be vertical so that my front hand can slide through. Now, in this case, T in Shikarachi, Zenkutsu to draw. T and draw. Squat in T, press and pull. Ready? Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. And shake it out. Shudan uke, chest block. Here we're making our X to draw out, holding the blocking hand to the outside before exploding. X to pop, X to pop. Ready? Shikarachi down. Again, we're going to draw the X to the side we're going to turn to. Turn and pop. Shikarachi X, turn and pop. Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, heel in, draw the X, heel out, push the X. Roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. And relax, shake it out. Ura Churanuke, inside blocks. Drawing from the L and pulling in. L to draw. So now, when we line this L up, my elbow is going to be lined up with the knee I'm turning to. So that when I pull in, my fist's actually going to be pointing towards the screen. This puts my wrist in front of my opposite shoulder towards my target. L, even with the knee. Draw, even with the shoulder. L, even with the outside. Draw, even with the inside. Ready? Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. And shake it out. All right, Geiranuke, low blocks. Here, we're using the fold and slide for the extension. Point to the opposite, fold on top, and slide through to the block. Shigarachis, pointing across to the opposite knee, turn in and slide through. Heel in, fold across, turn in, slide through. Shikarachi, fold, Zenkutsu, draw. Ready? Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. And shake it out. All right. Let's go ahead and put all this together now. And I think that will put us at our break time. Cool. So we'll put this all together and break for water at the end. What we're going to do is, just like on our last lesson, starting in yoi position, we're going to draw back to a shikarachi to deliver our block, whichever one that may be. Then Zenkutsu for that return, Gyakuzuke, reverse punch. We'll do 10 on each side as we go. Ready? Yoi position. Let's start. Again, acting as a mirror to the screen. Drawing your left foot back so we can block with the right and strike, punch with the left. Ready? Starting with Jodan. Ich, draw, T, lift, turn, pinky, press. And up. Knee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sheet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roko. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sichi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Other side. Ich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sheep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And shake it out. Right. Shudanuke, outside block. Count will remain the same. The only things that are going to change are steps 2 and 3. What is our shield? And what is the block delivery? The rest, stepping back 1 for Shikadachi remains the same. 4 for Zenkutsu, 5 for the pinkies, 6 for the press. All the rest remains the same. All the changes now is which block are we using with the hands. All right, ready? Starting with left foot stepping back, blocking with the right, punching with the left. And ich, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Other side. Ich. Knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And shake it out. All right, halfway there. Ura Churanuke, drawing it in. Left foot stepping back. Ich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Coup. Shoot. Other side, start it slow. Itch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knee. 2, 3. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Coup. Shoot. And shake it out. All right, last one. Geiraruke, low blocks. With the fold. Ready? Left foot stepping back. Itch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Coup. Shoot. Other side. Itch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Coup. Shoot. And yame. All right. So, yeah, practice makes perfect. The key here is moving slow to build up timing, teaching our muscles how to coordinate from 1, 2, and 3 for each delivery. But moving slow, consciously, and then increasing the speed over time will teach your body how to move, as well as get that heart moving, get those legs pumping. Your legs should feel a little sore at this point. You should start feeling some sort of burn. Even if you're an 8th level black belt, if you're doing it right, your body should feel it. But right now, let's go ahead and take a little break, get some water, and we will return in just a moment. All right, let's come on back. Bounce it out, bring it in, and okay, great. Thanks, us. Now, let's move on, and we'll take a quick look at our kicks. We mentioned this at the start of class a little bit, how our kicks should be planted before we deliver. We can use these different stances in conjunction with our kicks as well, using the same step, set, strike mentality as we go. Now, the easiest way to present this is just a good old fighting position. Now, fighting position is like a walking stance, where we're standing upright, only I'm going to take my lead foot and put out just a little bit further, and then bend both knees just a hair. My weight's going to be in the middle between my toes, so that I can turn on either, lean into the front, or lean back to the rear. This is going to be a nice little balance between them. So if you look at me from the side, it's not quite like I'm standing up. Instead, I'm bending my knees just a little bit and opening my gait so I can remain sitting in the middle without just sitting in a chair. So I don't want my bottom over my foot. I want in between both feet. So my feet are just outside shoulder width, just a little bit more than that. Now, when I throw a kick, I'm going to favor one foot over the other because when I throw the kick, I'm standing on one foot, I'm balancing. Let's take a quick tree pose. I'm going to place one foot on the ground, take the opposite foot, bring it up, and touch your toe to the inside of your knee. Your hands hold the middle, and we'll hold for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Good trade signs. Bringing the other foot up, toe to the inside of your knee, hands in the middle, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So the point here is we're feeling where that balance is. When I have one foot up, all my weight's on the other foot. So when I kick, say for a front kick, if I'm sitting in my stance here, if I want to kick with this leg, I'm going to lean my weight forward so I can draw that knee up. Step, set, strike. So when we're talking about stepping, the action of step is where am I putting my weight? Stepping isn't walking. This is walking. I lift one foot, I put it out in front of the other one. We talked about this on Tuesday. This is, in essence, falling gracefully because I'm swinging the foot forward and hoping that it hits a spot that I can lean onto. This is great because it conserves a lot of energy. It means we can walk further than if we stomped every time and grip the floor. We can move faster, we can move easier doing that. However, in karate, we want to have the option, like we started today, to be able to and quickly change directions and move where we want to quickly. Change our directions and not be committed to, all right, I'm falling to here. No, I want to be able to shoot off if I need to. But coming back to kicks. So when I say step, what I'm really referring to is shifting weight. We even did this earlier with shikarashi and kutsu when we did the corner hits for the outside block heat. So we were shikarashi, step, set, strike. Step, set, strike. Step, I'm changing my weight. Set, strike. Step, set, strike. So where is my weight? For a kick, if I'm going to kick with the back leg, I gotta step my weight to the front, set my chamber, strike with the extension before I draw it back. If I want to kick with the front foot, I've got to step back, leaning my weight to the back leg, set, strike before I return. Step, set, strike, return. Make sense? Let's try that with each of our 4 kicks, starting with my Gary, front kick. Now for this, I'm going to shift inside so you can kind of see how my weight shifts for that step action. For these, let's take our kicks off the front angle today. So they're all going to be front leg kicks. So I've got my guard up, left foot is in front. I'm going to lean back to the right, lift, and press before returning. Ready? Hitch, knee, sun, sheep, go, roko, Sichi, Hachi, Ku, Ju. Switch feet, hitch, knee, sun, sheep, go, roko, Sichi, Hachi, Ku, Ju. Good. Now, I can already hear some of you out there who maybe have a little more experience, but you're watching this and going, hey, Sensei Cisco, you're telegraphing. When you lean back like that, you're showing your opponent that you're going to lift your knee up. And yeah, you're right. That is very telegraphed. And that's the last thing we want to do in a fight. If we have to defend ourselves, the last thing we want to do is announce to our opponent, I'm about to kick you with this front foot. See, there it was. Telegraphing is bad. But that's not what we're doing today. Again, today we're just analyzing how we shift weight. If I were to use this in combat for self-defense, and I'm squared up with an opponent, I would use this front leg kick primarily as either after a little dodge. So if they throw something in, I can lean back so it misses, and then I can get a quick kick in. Or I can use it as a back stance, a cat stance, as I'm setting up. So that I can square up with my opponent from the cat stance, keeping two hands and a foot free to deliver a quick strike if I need it. So this is either coming as a reaction or as an intentional setup, but never as I'm here, I'm here. I'm not going to attack from here. I'm going to be already set here either because my opponent pushed me here or because I'm resting here in a back guard. But that's a little more advanced, more the intermediate to advanced level. But good thing to note. Now, let's try out some of the other kicks. And let's try them with some other stances. In this case, let's try Zenkutsu Dachi. So Zenkutsu Dachi has 1 foot forward, back leg is straight. I can still hold the guard up here. Now, since my weight is on the front leg, I'm going to kick off the back leg. Because here I can keep my weight wherever it is and kick out. So I've already shifted weight here. If I were to take this from Shikadachi first, I can Zenkutsu and return. Step, set, strike, and return. Let's try that out. Facing the camera, facing the screen, putting your left foot back. Guard up, we're going to turn to Zenkutsu, chamber kick, and return to Shikadachi. Itch, knee, turn in, draw up, push, and return. Sun, sheep, go, Roko, Sichi, Hachi, Ku, Ju. Switch your feet. Another thing to note, where are your front toes? Are they turned in? Are they turned out? Or are they pointing where you need to go? Point your toes in the direction you're attacking. That way when you turn in, you can be squared up in your Zenkutsu. Ready? Itch, knee, sun, sheep, go, Roko, Sichi, Hachi, Ku, Ju. And shake it out. All right. Now let's this is pretty good for front kick. But let's take a look at one of the others. Let's say round kick. Can we do the same thing with a round kick? Washigiri. Well, the short answer is yeah, totally. The only difference is going to be a pivot to get me into position as well. So let's say we're going to take the back stance. So our weight's on the back foot. When I go to throw this front leg into a round kick, I've got to twist. So my back toes are turned away and I can extend. Return and sit down. This is a very good one. Our best stance for this would be Niku Ashidashi, cat stance. Now I understand in basic class, we haven't really talked about this stance yet. And this is intentional. I said cat stance for intermediate level. But for today, let's take a look at it. We're going to peek into our future and see how we can use this back seated stance to keep our weight off the front foot and throw a round kick through. So I'm going to start with my left foot kind of up in front, kind of lightly tapping the floor, and hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, chu. Try the other foot. So now our weight's on the back. Right leg slightly tapping, and hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, chu, and relax. All right, now last one, Zenkutsudachi. Works just the same, only now our weight's on the front, which means we're also going to have to turn on that front foot. So our weight is already set here. I'm going to draw that back chamber up and around before I swipe and return. So let's kick with our right foot, or let's switch it off so we're alternating each time. Put our left foot back, our weight's on the front. We're going to swing that round kick up. Keep your weight here on this front leg. And hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, chi. Switch your feet. Keep your weight on the front. Keep that knee bent. And turn on your toes. Hitch, knee, sun. So you notice my heel is turned out. When I kick, I'm going to flick that heel forward before my extension. Sichi, hachi, ku, chu, and relax. So now we've had a good look at how our stances shift our weight, how we can use that shift in coordination with our setup and delivery to create a good lock to the floor, aimed at the target, and then powerful hit into that target. Step, set, strike. All right. Now, as always, if you have questions about anything we've done today, type it in. Send me a message. I'm happy to answer anything you have. If you're struggling with something and you don't know why, write that in. Say, hey, I'm kind of struggling with this move. I can't seem to get the turn right, or it feels funny. My hips feel like they're squeezing, or my knee feels like it's hurting. Anything like that, write it in. Don't be ashamed of that. It's perfectly normal. This is part of the learning process. So write it in. Tell us. Tell me what hurts, what doesn't feel right, what's not working, because that's how I know what to tell you. This will help gauge and change how these classes are run, so I can answer the questions not just for you, but for somebody else who might have the same trouble that you do, but is a little too shy to ask themselves. So if you don't ask for you, at the very least, ask for the next guy so that they can learn from you. All right, let's go ahead and close out. We'll cool down with a little bit of kata. Forget to itch. And again, taking a look at the step, set, strike. We'll move nice and slow, easy as we go, soft and smooth. All right. So I'm going to face away so we can both be facing the same direction at the same time. If I'm facing away from this camera, you should be facing in. If I'm facing to you, you should be facing away. Sound good? Sound good. All right. You got itch. Yawn. On my count. Up, step, set, strike. 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 Up, 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 hiya, up, 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 hey, great. All right. How's it feeling? Is it coming along? Are you getting your sets before delivery? Let's do it one more time. This time I will call out the position. We're going to itch. Yo. Shigarachi. Fold. Zenkutsu. Geiranuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Shuranzuke. Shigarachi. Fold. Zenkutsu. Geiranuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Zenkutsudachi. Or Churanzuke. Shigarachi. Fold. Zenkutsudachi. Geiranuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Churanzuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Churanzuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Churanzuke. Left foot all the way to Shigarachi. Fold. Zenkutsu. Geiranuke. Shizutarachi. T. Joranuke. Shigarachi. Fold. Zenkutsudachi. Geiranuke. Shizutarachi. T. Joranuke. Fold. Slide the left foot over. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Gyakuzuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Gyakuzuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Churanzuke. Or Gyakuzuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Gyakuzuke. Left foot steps behind. Shikarachi. Fold. Zenkutsudachi. Geiranuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Joranzuke. Shikarachi. Fold. Zenkutsudachi. Geiranuke. Shizutarachi. Pinkies. Joranzuke. Back to Yoi. Read. All right. And that covered us for today. And practice makes perfect. Keep moving. Make sure you're getting to a good sweat. If you're not sweating by the end of class, either we were talking too much, which sometimes there are classes we want to think more than we do. But for the most part, you want to make sure that you are sweaty, that you are applying yourself, sitting low in your stances, maintaining that stance nice and low. Even when our legs hurt, even when our muscles want to give up, we push through it, we persist. Because it's at that point that our muscles are tired, that our body's wanting to give up. It's then that our body learns best. But we got to work on it. We got to focus, and we got to push to keep ourselves dedicated, motivated in our quest to be our best. All right. Let's come together. That's great. Great. Arigato. And basic class is dismissed. Thank you for joining us. For our intermediate students, I'm going to take a quick water break. When I return, we'll take a look at your stances, moving together for step set start. All right, come on back. Now let's see. How to do? All right, good to see you, Gracie. I'm glad you were able to make the last class. Sorry I didn't give you a shout out earlier. And all right, let's move ahead and move right on into it. That's good. Great. Thanks, us. And let's take a seat. So before we get started, I'm gonna come a little closer so you guys can hear me better. Let's talk a little bit about what happens at these higher levels. Now, when we move out of basic, really basic class is taking a look at these core essential principles. What is a block? What is a punch? How do we sit in our shikadachi and zenkutsu? These classes are really about conditioning the body and coordinating for gross motor skills. So everything we did in this last class is pretty broad in its action. So, how do we punch? Just bring your hands together and push. How do we block? Fold them and push. When we move up in ranks, whether it be intermediate class, further on into advanced class, we get more and more detailed into where things are getting positioned and at what time they should be positioned. Now, nothing says this more, I think, than cat stance, Riku Ashidachi, or even our corkscrew positions. Because in those actions, because they're very, very unique, and the weight is distributed so differently than what the average person is accustomed to, we really want to emphasize where each part is. Now, there's another benefit to knowing this. By training our bodies into these very specific positions, what we're also doing is not just strengthening the body, teaching the muscles when and where to move, point of when we are reacting to something, when we're getting attacked and someone's throwing punches or throwing kicks and I have to dodge out of the way. I don't want to have to think about, all right, is my knee exposed? And when I draw back into my cat stance or I set into my fighting stance, I don't want to have to sit here and think, all right, how's my stance? Where's my front knee? Right now, if I'm thinking about it, my front knee is bent in. If they punch or kick here, that's going to buckle my leg right in, turning me down into a nice hook and fold, and I'm out. So, by getting very detailed in where we position, I can set into my fighting stance and know automatically this front knee is pointing ahead. It is safe. I also know where its weak parts are. Exposure from the inner thigh that could knock the knee out. Exposure on the outer thigh where this nerve is that they could try and strike and deaden the leg. I also will know where my weight is. Is my weight in the middle or is it on the back? If my weight is in the middle and they try and sweep my front foot, maybe they kick here on the inside of my leg and they pop it out, I have to be able to see if I know that kick is coming, I can predict it and set my weight back. So they might take this foot, but I'm my weight's back here. So I'm not actually moving. Or even better, they swipe it and I can spin through it, taking that energy and going into maybe a spin out and run away. So by taking a careful look at where my weight is, how I'm shifting it, I can not only decide and dictate where I'm moving to, but I can predict where each position of my body is and where the weak points of my body will be. So I know how to defend it in the next step, and in the next step, and so on and so forth, moving on. So now I don't have to think about things. I can know when I'm here and I throw this punch, I'm exposed. My opponent is probably going to punch here. I went here, my opponent's probably going there, so I can immediately draw out for one and fold into a low block. Now I've got a nice shield here to catch them into my next strike for 1, 2. Punch, block, punch. 1, 2. I can immediately get that guard in place because I know that exposure was there. So as we continue and as we move into today, keep this in mind. Think about, where are my weak points? Where am I exposing vital areas? Now, I still want to keep in mind the step, set, strike. That is our theme this week. But it's another thing to kind of keep on the side burner. All right. Let's go ahead and warm it up. And we're going to start in a fighting position, bounce, up and back. Now, just as mentioned before, my lead toes should be pointing ahead. My lead knee should be pointing ahead. This way I can land in and draw back. My back foot is 45 to the back. So I'm kind of drawing back into a cat stance. Press forward, draw back, forward, back. So my feet are going to slide a little bit. Slide it in, push and slide, push and slide, push and slide. When we move fast, it looks like I'm jumping 2 feet. But just like in Chizu Terachi, we're sliding one at a time. Here I'm pushing out and sliding in, pushing out and sliding in. I never leave the floor. Keep this roll. Just kind of sliding on this diagonal line, up and back. Switch your feet. Now when we switch feet, you're going to take that drawback all the way, heel to heel, and then push out with the other foot. Switch, drawing all the way heel to heel, and lunge out. Switch. 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 Good. Shake it out. Last week, we did some strikes with this. So the same foot motion, but now we can tap a spot on our wall. Don't punch. If you have a heavy bag, you can use your heavy bag. If you're using a wall, just look to tap 1, 2. So as we draw in, 1, pull, 2, press away. 1, 2, press away. So here I'm not hitting, I'm just tapping. I am tapping with my first 2 knuckles so I can line them up, but I'm not punching through. My wall is not a makiwara. I'm just picking a spot and lining up with that spot. Switch feet. Let's go ahead and take it on down. Let's stretch out. Left leg out, grab the toes, and pull them back. Or draw the knee elbow down to the knee. Hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, chi. Switch your grip. Grabbing on, keep that knee down, push your elbow out. Hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, chi. Switch your feet. Same side to draw the elbow down. Hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, chi. Switch your grip, drawing the elbow out. Hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, chi. Good. Take your back leg, draw it over, hug the knee, keeping your hips down on the floor. A twist to the open side. And drop the knee, roll the ankle. Reverse. Now, tucking the foot up into the crease of your elbow. We're going to hug the full leg and draw it into your chest. Hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, chi. Switch feet, cross over, and hug. Keeping your hips down, pull the knee into your chest. Turn out. Good. Drop the knee, roll the ankle. Reverse. And lift the heel into the crease of your arm. Grab the knee and hug it up to your chest. Hitch, knee, sun, chi. Keep your back as straight as possible. Go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, chi. Good. Shake it out. Rub your knees. And roll to your stomach. Cobra. One knee up. Stretch your long side. And take the bent side arm, reach back to the straight leg, and pump it in. Grabbing your toes to draw. I'll switch my angle here so you guys can see a little easier. Reach back to grab the straight toes and then pulse your tail. Hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, chi. Switch. Keep it straight for now. And relax, letting your hips fall to the floor. Reach back to the straight toes and draw them in. Hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, roku, Sichi, Hachi, Ku, Ju. Very good. Have a seat. We're going to do one more. I'm feeling a little tight on my obliques today, so we're going to add an extra stretch just for me. Fan your feet. We're going to reach out to one side, grab your toes, and take your arm behind your ear and reach down and bring your hands together. Pitch, knee, sun, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Other side, grab your toes, arm behind your ear, and pitch, knee, sun, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. All right, shake it out. Come on up. And bounce it out. Loosen everything up. Feeling good? Feeling good. So, let's go into our first section. Take a look at Oitsuke and Nikwashidachi. Now, Oitsuke being based off of the either Shikirachi or Nahachidachi stances. Either one is fine. What it really comes down to is how are you getting there. If you're looking to step into it, crossing your feet, or how should I put this? Punching from one side to the other, turning your chest as you go. We're going to look primarily at Shikirachi. So for this, we'll set up in our Shikirachi with a punch out. We first turn the lead toes in, step on line. Before we draw the pinkies together, set in Shikirachi and press. For 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, turn in. 2, step up. 3, turn to Shikirachi. 4, lock the punch. So our Shikirachi and chamber occur together. This will allow our punch to come out just after we've locked our stance, planting ourselves into position. All right, let's do a couple of these, walking up and back. Itch, knee, sun, shi, go, well, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Good. Now the alternative to this would be our Nahachi-dachi. For a Nahachi punch, we're looking at keeping the same side out. So our toes are faced forward, we're gripping the floor. And here I could set up, maybe a guard to my side, so I can step across, flick. Now, breaking this down, my back leg is going to cross in front on the toe line. I'll then draw a quick little, almost like a crescent kick. So the back foot can draw up to the knee before slamming out like a side kick onto the floor, stomping the heel into the ground. The trick here is getting the timing in with the punch. Because I want the stomp to happen with, again, the chamber so that the punch can extend out and lock right after the stance has finished in position. Step, set, strike. Strike always happening after we've locked into stance. Let's try it out. Hitch. Knee. Other side. Sun. Sheep. Go. Rogo. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Yeah, so here we should be looking at moving perfectly to the side, not rising up, not dropping down. But instead, our fist is able to move in a line straight into the target. The straighter this line from your shoulders to your target, the more of your momentum and energy is going to feed into that target. Just like when we break a board, we don't hit the board coming at an angle, we come straight in through the center to snap. Now, obviously, this is not a board. This is a yoga wheel, stretching wheel, plunge wheel. I forget what this is called. I use it to roll my back and help with stretches. But if you can remember what that's called in the comments, please write it on in. For some reason, it just completely spaces my mind today. All right. But these are our two white suitcases. Lining up to push straight. All right. Let's try now moving up into our cat stances. Now, cat stance, as I mentioned before, is one of the most complicated, especially when we get into the hand motions with it. But the stance itself, we can simplify. Putting one foot out, resting our weight on the back. Our back heel is turned in 45 degrees. Front foot is pointing straight. Hips are turned straight while our shoulders are not. So we have an angle, a box, an angle, a box. So we're kind of twisting in multiple directions here. As we step, we're going to drop the lead heel in and slide the back knee forward. Heel in, push forward. Heel in, push forward. Simple enough. Now, an alternative step to this, which we see in Pion Miran, Pion Shonan, especially when we step to the back, the corner angles, is the teardrop. For this, to get the teardrop, you would drop the lead heel, and instead of drawing the knee forward, we're going to bring these together to reach out and around before pulling the heel back in till our shin is vertical, pointing straight down to the ground. From a side angle, I drop my heel, 45, pull in, and hook around, pushing all the way to my side. So now I'm facing in the line of my back toes. My heel is pushed out here. Then as I drop my lead hip, it pulls the heel in, and my shin is straight up and down. Angle, draw, push like a hook kick, and then pull in till we're vertical. All right, let's try a couple walking up and down the deck with that teardrop now. Hitch, knee, sun, she, go. Now I hit the end, so I'm going to moate, crossing over and shifting my weight. Roko, Sichi, Hachi, Ku, Ju. Moate, to shift the weight. All right. For the hands, we have two motions. Our former backhand is going to draw up to the cheek. Former lead hand will drop thumb to the thigh. So as we step, thumb to thigh, palm to cheek, lift and press. Step, drop and lift, push and press. All right, let's try this. First, feet shoulder width apart. Drop to your left side, right hand up, and we'll shift our weight. Draw, press. Step, set, strike. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Itch, knee, sun, sheep, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Shake it out. Get on. We have two different gate-ons. One is set up like a low block that will fold out. The other is set up from a hip press to push forward. Each one is, again, circumstantial. What are we trying to deflect to get us there? Or how are we trying to press? So are we pushing into a target, or are we deflecting and rolling down on a target? Let's start with the slide first, because this is the most similar to our low block, which should be very familiar at this point. Ready? Step, fold under, slide over, drawing your wrist to your belt knot. Step, set, strike. Shift your weight, fold under, slide over. Itch, knee, sun, sheep, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. For the press, we're going to shift our weight, draw our hands back to the hip, with the back hand being on bottom, knuckle to knuckle, not palm to palm. And then push into those end positions. Shift the weight, draw the belt hand on top, and push out. Itch, knee, sun, sheep, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. And shake it out. All right. So now that we've gone through a couple of stances, a couple of strikes, let's check our time real quick. How are we doing? All right, we're about at the water break mark. Let's go ahead and pause there for now. We'll get a water break, and when we come back, take a little look at concept. All right. Look, water is refreshing. Water tastes good. So if you can hear my voice, come on back. Bring it in. Get your space set. Clear of any debris or animals that may be running around. Luckily for us today, my cats are sleeping in the corner there. But it's gonna be good. And great. Onegaismasu. Now let's continue looking at our kata's pinaniran, shoran for this class. Now, given today, we should be able to get to some nahanchi. So I know we have green belts that have been sitting in the back pleading. So, where are we getting the hanchi? We've been doing pinan for so long. I want the hanchis. We will get to that today. But let's start with the pinans as it continues the lesson that we've already started with our cat stances. Now, let's go right into it. No pause, no delay. Pinaniran. Yo. Up. Fold an X down to draw that elbow out, pinky up to slam the hammer. Step up to the pinky draw, punching to the face. Or, I'm sorry, this is punching to the chest. We got a knee is punching onto the face. We're going to punch the chest, draw back. Low block. You got to make sure you have your fold, step, set, and strike. Keep this in mind as you move. For step, set, strike. Up. 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 Now this is a punch to the face. Up. 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 See? Great. Good. Now let's break this down. Now that we've did a quick walkthrough, let's break it down piece by piece. And now we're going to call out the position before it happens. So step, set, and strike for each motion. Starting from the top. Pinaniran. Boy. We're going to step out and drop into a cat stance before folding a low X with the left hand drawn in and rolling our hammer fist. We'll then step up into a walking stance, drawing the pinkies together and pressing the punch out. Step back with the right into a shikirachi, folding up for the low block, and then senkutsu to deliver. We're then going to kick back, shifting our weight to the rear leg. X is low as the right hand draws for the hammer. Step through, meet in the middle, press the punch. Left foot steps out for a shikirachi, folding into a low block. Stepping up, T, roll into a high block. Again, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Get a nice flow, make it slide. Step through the back with the left foot, overstepping the toe line so we can turn on the train tracks facing the wall. And of course, fold to the low block. Step up into a high punch. Step back, another folding shikirachi into a sliding low block. Draw up with a high punch. Step out, another low block. So this one's fairly repetitive. Low block to high, low to high, low to high. 1, 2, and 3. Now for these low knives, we're going to slow this down a lot more. So we're going to step first, bring our hands down to our hip for the turn, and then push. So the first one is a hip press, strike. The second is going to be the roll under, fold, and slide. The third will be another hip press. And the fourth a fold slide before we draw back and back. Now, depending on your school, both within Shoroden-ryu as well as the sister styles that we have, Naharu, Goju-ryu, Shotokan, the list goes on. How you do these setups and deliveries may change slightly. I could say, for instance, my master growing up actually had us throw low knives by drawing way back and swinging out. We draw far. The high knife would swing real big in these large sweeping motions. The reason he taught that was to get us to think in these two circular motions. And then over time, as we advanced, he'd shorten them up on us until later in life, it became a very small, tiny motion. In my opinion, through my training, I've elected not to teach it that way for my own reasons. But I've also learned from other masters how they teach these motions and why they teach them. So the point is, the setup and delivery will always remain the same, even if certain schools of thought adjust it slightly to get us there. But once you hit the black belt level, we look pretty much the same. How your instructor wants you to get there is up to them, their expertise, and how they're having everything work together. So if you see Pinan Nidan or any kata from another school and it looks different, this is why. It is an art form after all. There's a lot of personal expression and emphasis from your masters. So just stay focused on what your teacher wants you to do, not what the other teachers of a different school want them to do. You'll do just as good, if not better. At the very least, if you have a good instructor. I hope I'm a good instructor. I think I am, but I'm digressing. I miss my students. I want to see you all. Lockup is not good for me. I'm losing my mind. All right. I'm getting way off topic. Let's focus up. Pinan Shodan. Great. Pinan Shodan. Go. Same thing on the count. Up. Hold to the side, to the double. Up. 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 Hey. Up. Up. This is a high block. Up. Hey. Hey. All right. Now breaking down each part. Pinan Shodan. Yoi. Right foot steps out into a cat. Fold to the hip, left hand on top before the double lock. Drop the lead foot. Lead heel is going to drop to the floor so we can drop the right hand and then punch through with the left. Moate. Shifting your weight to a new cat. Fold the hands and strike. Drop the lead heel so we can drop the left hand and punch through. Draw up, toes together, pointed to the corner. To fold the X, draw the knee with the block and extend the kick. Moate, drop the right foot across. Shift the weight, drawing the hands in, left palm to your cheek, right thumb to your thigh before delivering the high knife. Shift your weight, Draw in, strike out. Shift your weight, draw in, strike out. Step through into walking stance. Drop your left hand, kind of pushing down in the middle, so your right hand can push through the center into a spear hand. Left foot steps through the back, but keep it tight. Knees are touching. To shift our weight, spinning through. Draw in, draw high knife. Here we're going to use our teardrop to step around, folding in as we extend, and then pull as we pop. Draw back, draw in, and strike. Shift your weight, teardrop as we chamber, pull the hip as we strike. Turn the weight, continue to turn for the corkscrew, hold a high X, so almost like we're going to do a low block backwards. Then we're going to roll from that low block up to the X and out for a back fist. Chamber, kick, place, pop the back heel to push the hip in for the reverse punch. Shift your weight forward, corkscrewing in, drawing the right heel in, dropping your weight onto the right foot. Again, set up like you're doing a low block to the back, fold the left hand up to an X, and press it out for a back fist. Left knee will draw up for the kick, place, pop the hip for the punch. Again, pinkies together. Step in, shikarachi. Back hand is a low block chamber. Lead hand is an inside block chamber. Roll the shoulders into a support block. Roll and pop. We're making 2 circles. Little circle on the back, big circle on the front. So we can scoop in front. All right, back foot steps over. Shikarachi fold, roll to low block. Step up, T to high block. Step out, fold to low block. Stepping up, T to high block. Back to yoi, and bow. All right, so moving slow, keeping your mind on where is your weight, where are you aiming, and where are you delivering the strike to. How are we channeling that energy? Is it moving straight or through a loop to swing? All right. Now, I promised Nahanchi. So let's get into some Nahanchi Shodan before we go. In fact, how's our time today? We're doing really good on time. We actually may get it done a little early today. So, from the top, Nahanchi Shodan. Your toes close with palms on top. Now, I'm going to mirror for this. So my right hand's gonna be on top, but your left hand should be on top. So we look as a mirror to each other. Okay. So you should be moving that way. All right. Shodan. We're gonna look, step, stop, fold. So our left hand's gonna come up with a palm. This is one of the reasons why that palm is open to start. It's gonna fold over on the inside, kind of rubbing in to make an X to the side, and then strike out with the ridge hand. So we can deflect with the backhand and strike with the outside hand. We'll then draw in, keep our chest forward to smash the elbow. Now my fist is going to line up here towards the shoulder. So I'm not flat. There's a little space in between. I'm going to draw that left hand underneath. So I go knuckle to knuckle, almost like my thumbs are fitting into these little pockets underneath your fingers. And set to your side. We're going to look to the left. before drawing the left hand across and punching down. So this isn't a low block. We're not swinging this. We're drawing it over, tucking the elbow back so I can push the knuckles at a downward angle. Draw and press. The right hand will then draw across the chest to punch and pull back. The whole time here, my toes are pointing forward. I'm gripping the floor. Then I'm going to step over, little crescent kick, and stomp with a side kick. Now this right hand is going to flick up, keeping right where the elbow is. The forearm is just going to draw up into an outside block. My backhand is then going to fold under, draw the X, but instead of drawing back with the rear hand, I'm going to extend out. So this right elbow stays in place the whole time for the double. Backhand will then pop up so that my left hand can draw back to the ear and flick a back fist. Left heel, I'm going to look to the left. Left heel kick, which means I'm going to use this wall for stability. I want to stay where I am. I'm going to lift up and push like a front kick, but my toes are kind of pushed out to the side so I can hit with the base of my heel. And it's going to happen quick so that our body doesn't stand up. I want to stay low, flick it out, and stomp again. Once I get that stomp, that side arm is going to shoot out elbow first into a hammer. I'll then look to the right. Right leg will snap out, heel kick, before a stomp, and then pull. Think like a string is connected one hand to the other. I'm going to pull the right hand to draw the left hand in for an inside block. Just like the L. Only now my L is very open to come across. That's another hammer fist. Once here, I'm going to fold over, look to the left, and double punch. Think oitsuke and box punch at the same time. So I'm going to pull, press, and draw. From here, left hand's going to open, cross in front, hug tight to the body, and grind my thumb across my chest into a ridge hand. Then another elbow, placing your knuckles into your chest. Fold your left hand under, look right, low punch, box punch. Step over, crescent side stomp, keep that elbow locked to flick. Backhand draws under, keep the elbows out for a double, out and low. Low is going to pop up as we draw into the ear and flick the back fist. Outside foot, heel kick to a hammer. Inside foot, heel kick to an inside hammer. Fold over, look, and double oitsuke and box punch before drawing back to the rest. Return to yoi. Right, shake it out. Compared to Kinan, Nahanchi is very straightforward. There's no twists, there's no turns. What Nahanchi is going to really emphasize is strengthening the legs, because maintaining a Nahanchi, gripping the floor the whole time, is tough. It should wear on your feet. It should wear on your legs, muscles aching, keeping low and tugging the floor. At the same time, it's working a lot of complex arm motions, with the hands working in tandem together to create a block and strike as one motion. This double block, for instance, is a key point to that, because we are both blocking low and out simultaneously. When we do the back fist, we're drawing up to create a guard in front of us before the strike. The heel kick. Now this forces us to slide, creating motion to 1, 2, 3 to create a strike in a very rapid manner. But let's keep going with it. I can talk on this all day. Now shut up. Going. Step. Look. Of course, look always first. Look. Step. Stop. Fold the X to ridge hand. Elbow. Draw the right hand under. Look. Low punch. Box punch. Cross over. Crescent side stomp. Flick the block. Draw backhand to the outside, rolling your X to a double block. Draw in, flick the back fist. Look to the left, kick with the heel kick with the outside foot, hammer with the outside hand. Look to the inside, heel kick with the inside foot, draw to the inside hammer. Fold that hammer over, look to the outside, and double oitsuke and box punch. Take that oitsuke, hug it over top, squeezing tight to grind your thumb across your chest. Once your elbow is pointed out, the hand will follow, flicking to the ridge hand at the end. Draw the elbow, left hand folds under. Look to the inside, low punch, box punch. Cross, crescent to side, flick, backhand folds the X out, double block, draw in to flick out, look to the outside, heel kick to hammer, look to the inside, heel kick for inside hammer. Fold that hammer over, look for the double, and then draw back, left hand on bottom, so we can roll left hand on top. And down. All right. So I think that will do us. We are a little early, but we'll call it a little early today. I hope you learned something good. You got some decent exercise. Ultimately, practice makes perfect. So continue to work to the best of your ability, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the future. Arigato gozaimasu. Man. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Boink. Boink.